everyone, and a very warm welcome to you from Silkeborg in Denmark and the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019. Silkeborg in central Denmark grew up into a town really on the back of a paper mill construction in the mid-1800s, and many of the buildings are still here and attract thousands of visitors every year, known as the Lake District. Lots of water to play on. The best women's teams in the world are here inside the Silkeborg Sports Centre. 40th anniversary of the World Women's Curling Championship, and this is our featured game in this first session. It is Russia against Switzerland. We're delighted to be bringing you live coverage of all the action inside this arena. And there are the teams getting ready to get the action underway. I'm Alison Walker, and alongside me, Luke Coley. We'll be bringing you live commentary on this one. And we're very, very much looking forward to it and delighted to have you with us for this game. We'll be keeping you updated on all the other action as well. So let's take a look at the lineups for this 2019 championship. We've got Ekaterina Kuzmina for Russia, the lead player. Galina Arsenkina is playing second. Anastasia Brizgalova, third player for Russia. And Alina Kovaleva is the skip. That's Team Russia. For Switzerland, we have the lead player, Melanie Barbizat. Esther Nun-Schwander playing second. The skip is Silvana Tiranzoni. She'll be playing the third stones, and Alina Peitz will be playing the fourth stones, the skip stones for Switzerland. So here are all the teams taking part in the championship this year. These are the teams that have all qualified for this World Championship in Silkeborg. And at this stage, hard to pick out who might be the winners. Long, long way to go. So in this session one, we have Sweden against China. Our feature game, Russia-Switzerland. Japan take on Scotland. And it's Germany against Latvia on sheet D there.
Yeah, Alison, and it's going to be interesting because it looks like these are two teams that could be contenders going in. Obviously, the Russian side have had a lot of success with Anna Sidorova, and now Kovaleva coming in. She's played very well, beat Sidorova to get to this World Championship as well, so that's a strong side. Then you look at Switzerland. Alina Peitz is the only player in the field, excluding alternates, that has a World Championship title. So there's that to her credit. And then Silvana Tiranzoni, skip at the Olympics, didn't have the results, now here at the Worlds. So some retribution a little bit for them.
It's a mixed bag for both teams. With Kovaleva, this is her first champion worlds, a skip. So that adds a different dynamic to it as well.
Yeah, and both will want to be into that playoff picture. Obviously, the 13-team round robin, you get 6 teams into the playoffs. There's that qualifying game, and then the semifinals, sudden death in the playoffs for the second year of this format, and obviously the 5-rock free guard zone rule. Usual high fives all around. Time to get this championship underway.
Yeah, and they just want to get it underway. It's been a long time coming. And they've had their practice sessions a few days ago and kept that going, and now it's just about getting going in this round robin. We always talk about the great starts they have to make in a round robin, but you know, teams peak at different times in the round robin, but if you can get that momentum going, look, that's key, isn't it?
You always want to do it. Here's the last stone draw numbers to determine last stone the first end. Obviously, Russia 34.5 compared to Switzerland's 95.9. So Russia will have the hammer. They'll throw the red stones. Yellow with the white tops is Switzerland to get us underway.
Tiranzoni.
Okay, jetzt kannst du gehen.
Doing the skip roll at the other end
Gut, Silvana.
of the sheet.
Vorne 4.
And these teams know each other well. So we'll see how this plays out initially. Often you find it quite cautious, quite cagey at the start. This is Melanie Barbizat, the 27-year-old. Been curling for 19 years. And is a physiotherapist. And she's not curling, which is a pretty useful thing to have. Lots of aches and pains in this sport, at this level especially. So she gets us underway in this first end, first year on this team.
Sorry.
That's a decent enough, but not quite enough on it. Ekaterina Kuzmina, 23-year-old from Russia. This is first year for her on this team as well. She's a student from St. Petersburg in Russia. Not surprisingly.
No, you see this a lot. Teams just trying to get a feel for it. They had practice yesterday. They had the pre-game practice, but you get that first end. See, a lot of the time you come into the house and you see hits. Allow you to get into it, settle into the championship a bit. But this Tirinzoni team is a very aggressive squad. They play a lot on the World Curling Tour, have had some success this season, and definitely would be one of the contenders to possibly be one of the last teams standing.
So away they both go. And we have Esther Ninschwander. She's 35, 26 years curling. 5 years involved with this team. In the Olympic Games in 2018 in Pyeongchang. And she's from Zurich. And she's a numbers athlete. She's an accountant.
Probably an analytical player as well, being the accountant. No surprise it comes into the house, get a chance to play that, get a feel for draw weight.
All about the percentages here. Galina Arsenkina, second player for Russia. 27 years old, also in the Olympic Games. They finished 9th. From Moscow. Started life as a figure skater. Got injured. Lots of curling now.
Yeah, everyone has a different path of how they get to this stage. And took an injury to get to this point, but there's a miss, and now another chance to play this draw, split the rings, and even try and get a relatively easy force in this first end.
Rules of play for you. 6 ends. They play minimum. They've got 38-minute thinking time and 1 60-second timeout. You have to be aware of the timings.
Yeah, Russia's going to try and get a little roll, try and bunch these stones together. Well, nicely done getting it over. I want to have a chance to make a double and get out of the end without having to take a single point.
Bis in 8 Fuß über, gell? Ja.
Silvana Tirinzoni, 39 years old now. She's a project management officer when she's not curling. Lives in Zurich as well. Silver at the European Championships just in November there. They are a very, very good team, this.
Very nice roll, able to keep that one in the rings, but also roll to the other side of the house. So the chance at a double, percentage of making that is a lot lower if you're going 12 feet apart.
Anastasia Brizgalova, 26 years old, 10 years curling, but early days as part of this team, played in the World Mixed Doubles and the Olympic Mixed Doubles in Pyeongchang. Hits and rolls in towards the centre.
Didn't quite get enough roll, but they're playing, seeing the hits being played.
Yep.
Switzerland trying to go back away, keep them separated.
Ja, finde ich gut. Gut, die Länge gehabt.
I guess by Arsenkina on the hit that allowed this situation to be set up.
Ja. Ja.
So a little opportunity here for Switzerland to try and rectify things. Taking so for Piranzoni.
Schön. Gut.
This is where knowing the angles and where to precisely roll to, you're not just seeing them just making the nose hit or roll anywhere. Got to keep those stones separated. Russia trying to battle back, the chess match back and forth of rolling closer to that Swiss stone in the back of the 12-foot.
Bryzgalova loves doing jigsaws. Here she is trying to find that missing piece.
And this, a very nice one if it can sit just in front.
It's gone on a bit, hasn't it?
Okay.
Certainly the right idea.
Not far off from being perfect, but that too rock with rolling too far over to the top means Lena Pats can just draw the open side. Lie two, can get an early, relatively stress-free draw under her belt.
Ja, finde ich gut. Zwischen 70 und 80. Ja. Ist gut. Genau. Ja.
Lena Pats, of course, former world champion a couple of times actually, in 2012 and 2015. Really experienced, very, very good curler.
Yeah, just the age of 29 as well. So.
And this combination seems to be working for this team with Piranzoni and both being skips, of course, Alina.
And there's a miss, though, just being a bit heavy, going deep. Now the tables have turned that Russia can hit roll off the side, one lie two.
Yeah, she won't be too happy with that. But, you know, first end, you know, things are going to be not quite on the ball, are they?
Yeah, but that, with pregame practice, you expect them to be pretty close. Although that is a path that they will not have thrown a lot in the practice. And all the practice geared towards the draw to the button, getting it to the center of the house, that one drawing away to the wings.
She wasn't happy, you could tell by that expression. So, back the other way again. Alina Govaleva. They skip for Team Russia. First appearance here as the skip.
Oh, but mistake right back, unable to capitalize. And with that one biting in the back, Switzerland still has a force chance set up.
Сколько это длинный? Не знаю, если...
So a chance for Alina Pats to somewhat rectify that first stone of hers. Some rolls.
That does the job anywhere in the rings. That one nibbling in the back 12-foot. Means Russia's going to be forced to hit and take their single point with the hammer in this first end.
Is that really just biting at the back there?
It does look
do you
like it
think?
is. I think this got to hit and stick here to score your single point. That one hanging on in the back of the 12-foot.
I guess they can't risk it. So last stone of this first end.
And Yeah, it's a disappointing to have to play this to get your 1, but you still have to make this shot. And we'll hit, roll out.
Well, are they going to say that's okay? Looks like it.
So it is that
Yep.
steal and some miscues early in this first end.
Ja, voll. Der meiste Not für den. Ja, da sind wir reingegeben.
Ich habe schon geschaut, dass das angesagt war, aber das Gefühl ist wirklich einfach.
Ja. Das ist genau schon einmal natürlich mit Goal.
Und hast du gesehen, sie hat jetzt von außen ein paar Mal gespielt, die sind tiefer gerade gelaufen.
Ich habe da spielen doch da auch da außen.
Der ist im Fall gut gespielt.
Eben, der ist auch gerade gelaufen. Der hat nachher nur halb getroffen. So viel.
Kannst du nicht. Länge ist nicht schlecht.
Finden gut. Hat es gesagt, genug schnell.
Second end now. It's our featured game between Russia and Switzerland, and quite a few errors in that first end, Luke, just to start us off with.
Yes, it was the miss early by Arsenkina, allowed Switzerland to lie 2. Then it was Alina Pats that ended up sliding too far, allowed Russia to even get a chance at 2 in that first end. But then Kovaleva rolls out, and then right back. And then Kovaleva on her last, rolling out, gave the steal of 1. So really a harmless setup in the end, starting with the first stone in, trading shots back and forth, the 1 stone in play. It all leads to that steal in the first end of this championship.
You know, and I know you say that they've been on the ice and they've practiced, but this is now a game situation. It's an entirely different thing from practice, so I think we can allow them 1 or 2 of these, even at this level.
Absolutely, you get out there, this is the World Championship. A lot of these players, it's their first real experience. Kovaleva first time skipping. Tiranzoni now in a different role. She's skipping, throwing third. So there's not as comfortable as you normally are, say at a regular World Curling Tour event, or you go out there and you're playing a curling club here in the Silkeborg Sports Center. Fans in watching, all the introductions, and the players will all tell you they get the chills coming out. That excitement to play in the World Championship begins, and maybe a little bit of that showing in the first end.
Let's see what this second end will bring. That steal for Switzerland in the first. And a chance for Russia to get something back here. Looking for that roll behind that other yellow.
Oh, good effort, and they're making that play in the rings. This stone out front still can't be removed. Because of the 5 stone free guard zone rule that is in effect now. Changes things up. Might see a fair bit more scoring from teams.
Well, we've seen that over the last year or so. It's definitely been a positive change to the game. Just one sweeper on this one.
Trying to run their own, ends up moving around. You're seeing that a lot more as well, Allison, a change in the game that they're really trying to almost steer the stone a little bit. You're sweeping for the stone to curl with the curl, as opposed to against it to try and hold the line. And a lot of the teams are picking up on that now. So that's why when you see one sweeper, they're trying to be more effective as they've done more studies of which way they want that stone to move.
It's just added another element to the game, hasn't it?
Настя! Настя, да!
Во, девочки, не надо ничего вообще.
Well, really want to stick around now.
Oh, it's going to curve back in.
And this all setting up well for Russia now with the hammer. They have a corner guard in play.
There's the Russia coach, Igor Minin. Lives in St. Petersburg. Been around the curling scene for nearly 30 years.
Schneller!
Finish gut. Finish gut.
The yellow replaces the red on that outside ring.
Nice, quick.
That's Manuela Nitzer, the coach for Team Switzerland.
Добавлен. Легче, внимательно.
Линия отличная, только вес. Пока побольше линий, девочки.
This is where that corner guard becomes a huge factor in the end. Now Russia can play away from the center. They can draw behind it, really try and generate their offense.
Настя, первая!
Switzerland can sweep now. It's beyond that line. It positions itself quite nicely in that outside area. The 12-foot. A quick word with the vice captain and heads back up the other end.
Well, it's a learning curve for the teams as well, because ice is in yesterday. They had practice. It'll have changed a little bit because there's little nuances in the building. More people, there's spectators. Try and get a feel for it. Ice makers are always working on the ice as well, just tweaking it a little bit, try and get the best surface for these players.
And you know the weather has an impact as well, and it was raining a lot yesterday and it's drier today, so
Russia'd love to make the nose hit so they can stay above the tee line, avoid chance for Switzerland to play the freeze to the back one or the roll choke off the corner guard.
Ничего вообще. Ничего, ждем.
it's just a nose hit, just to stay put.
У меня посильнее получилось. У тебя не было веса?
9,50.
У меня, да?
They roll to the opposite side, so now it's Switzerland in that chase game. Try and roll back over. Trying to make the double.
Here we go.
Look at
yes,
that.
she does.
Sehr schön.
Yep. Nicely done by Tiranzoni.
Mädchen. What works it?
The angle just right, and the weight really good too.
Yeah, and just good knowledge of the angles of how to play this one. They played the in-turn at it so it would get the right angle going into that second stone. You play with the other turn, it might go over the top and be a lot flatter of a roll. There, quiet weight, making that and to stick around.
And it was spinning a lot, the yellow stone, as well as it hit that second stone. And that enabled it to stay in position. So it's a little bit heavy. It's going to go all the way out.
See that so many times, Allison. Someone makes a great shot, it just swings in their favor. It was looking like Russia had two set up, just exchanged some stones, and they're in a great spot. Instead, goes back now to Switzerland to really put the pressure on.
Those two yellows well separated too. For Switzerland. Tighten the
Also Beisser,
Screw
Bierfuß
here.
vorne wäre ideal. Also das ist auch eine neue Spur, ich glaube, du kannst schon wie nicht 80er. Genau, okay, ja, das finde ich gut, das ist ganz eine neue Spur. Ja. Okay. Da gegen oben habe ich 60 gehabt, also Meter 70, also Meter kürzer. Also 80er, ja. 4.
Get a look at the hog-to-hog speed of the ice here. Obviously, teams use that as a reference point. Trying to bring play away from that corner, so Kovaleva can't draw behind the corner and try and set up a score.
Just looking at that black line there, that's where it stops. And the clock, and then we'll just see, gives us an idea of where this will finish.
Just wasn't deep enough. They needed that in the 8-foot. Now a freeze to that back one can be shot stone for Russia. And they don't even necessarily need to freeze that one. They can just play the straight come around.
Уже хорошо трек катит. Да, это очень быстрый трек. 13-20 у Насти вышел. Да. 13-20. Мы прям фриз.
So Russia with the hammer, remember, they have last stone advantage.
Okay.
Just get this into the right position here.
Чуть-чуть контроль.
You could turn this end right around.
Make a nice draw and you can set up the skip's deuce.
Контакт. Супер, молодец.
And that's nice. Certainly enough to ask the question. And his shot stone for Russia.
Forces now a shot to be made perfectly by Switzerland, and Alina Pats. If she doesn't come down to it, she over curls, she chips off. Chance at 2. Need to give yourself that opportunity.
Am Anfang müssen sie gerade ein bisschen warten. Keine Sicherung.
She's certainly more than capable of producing a shot like that.
Das ist genug.
Nicht vorig.
Sicher
Vorne 4.
Wow, wow, wow.
O-Linie.
Wow, eins, du kannst nicht. Wo ist er?
Seems happy enough with the line.
Muss sie?
Ja. Kannst?
Kann nicht.
Hinten 4, du kannst immer.
Kann nicht.
Kannst immer auf die Linie. Immer.
Da ist er noch gut auf. So.
Well, and weight was absolutely perfect. It just didn't curl enough, and the question is there enough to try and throw any sort of weight to move that yellow one
Well,
and
she-
score 2?
Yeah, and she looks like she thinks they've got a chance at doing that.
Да, мне нравится. Какая не уйдет. Да. Он же прям фриз. Единственное, что очень прямо. Даже сейчас он в самом конце у Алины только завалил. Короткий может ли делать такой счет? Каким весом
Just
сбор?
the tiny centimeters, millimeters of a difference here can change everything.
Да, я думаю, что довалит. Ага.
Well, there is a long guard out in front of them as well that has to get around on this one.
Das hilft.
Last of this second end, Russia
Дай до конца.
hoping for
Давай,
two
давай,
here.
давай, давай, Кать. Воу, воу. Легче, легче, легче. Воу,
Past the guard,
поднять.
okay. All she needed is a nudge, and really, really nicely done.
Made that look easy.
Yep. Good score there, a good 2 for Russia to take them into the lead in this second end.
Хорошо, прямо шел. Я сначала подумала,
Be
что будет
chuffed with that.
агрессивно валить. Думала, что будет очень
Well
сильно.
executed. Russia 2, Switzerland 1 after 2.
Так что нормально. А, катит хорошо уже, да, прям какие-то.
Единственное, вот этот трек, девочки, вот сюда как бы не очень.
Third end, another featured game between Russia and Switzerland.
Давай, давай, ниже. Давай, 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 пониже.
Alison Walker, Luke Coley, bringing you live coverage from the
Ладно, нормально.
LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019. We're in Silkeborg, I should say, in Denmark. And this is the first series of round-robin games.
Yeah, it's a long haul for these players. It's a 12-game round robin. 6 of the 13 teams will make the playoffs. Top 4 get, or top 2, pardon me, get a bye straight to the semifinals. That's a big bye for some of those teams. You get that extra little break. Once it's that, it's all sudden death in the playoffs.
So into the rings for Switzerland.
And both these teams I would expect to be right in the thick of things near the end. This Russian team, not a lot of people may have heard the name when you think of the Russian side. You're thinking Anna Sidorova, her team last year, Victoria Moiseyeva. But it's, now, Kovaleva, they played a Curling World Cup event this year. Didn't have the greatest results, but they have 3 wins on tour, including the qualifying for the Worlds.
But it's also about being at that top-level environment, isn't it? And playing against good teams and better teams and quality teams, and you up your game and your experience, and that all counts too. So getting all that experience banked in. And that one curved in nicely behind the yellow. And right on the button there.
Yeah, that's a nice start. Good pair of lead stones for Kuzmina.
Schöner knapp.
Vorne 4. Nein, lang ist gut. Hinein. Schön noch breit.
Lang ist gut. Müssen wir noch hinein noch?
Vorne 4.
Hoch nicht.
Sollte aber.
Ich muss.
Ja, nehmen Sie beide.
Hey.
Okay. Gut gespielt.
Мы потом это будем снимать кучу.
Да-да-да.
25-й. 26-й.
только вес.
5 со свипом.
Magdalena was a member of that team that won the bronze in 2018.
6. Настя. 6-й.
Воу-воу-воу, не надо.
О, контакт нельзя!
6.
Очень сильно валит.
Какой контакт? Все хорошо.
At the Women's Worlds in 2016 and then silver
Какая-то
in
паника.
2017, but as the alternate,
Ты про какой контакт?
Marina Kovaleva.
Какой контакт?
This is
Просто он так шел.
big difference is skip now. From the Europeans as well, so no stranger to the top of the rankings, top of the tables.
Ja, Melli.
Gut, so.
And gets things moving there.
Still lined up on that center line. Still a good situation for Russia.
Let's head over to Japan against Scotland on sheet
Hands up
C.
and off the yellow if we need
And
to
it looks
for
like
second
Japan
serve.
has one right on the button. Sophie Jackson.
And two new teams here look to this world stage.
And Sophie just coming off playing at the World University Games. Finished 4th there. Losing the semi and losing the bronze medal game.
Whoa!
Trying to draw, get her single point, get on the board.
No! Vi kan ha Pause! Kalender! Lise nu! Whoa!
They can't quite get by their own. They'll tap that red one, and it's another steal. So Scotland trails 2-0 to Japan.
So on sheet C, we're on B here for our featured game.
Gut.
Where it's 2-1 to Russia over Switzerland.
Ja, wow. Oh, nein, no. Wow.
Oh, look at that. Great angle recognition. The guard didn't cover it. Plays the double run and sits 2 for Neuenschwander.
Yeah, she allowed herself a smile there. Got everything going. Shaking this end up.
So forces a double back now for Russia.
What's the challenge for? Here's Galova of Russia. Intense gaze that we get with her eyes. She peers down the
Внимание!
sheet.
Вау, ждем. Галя, ролл. Давай. Хорош.
Молодец.
Well, double made, nicely done. Sits top 12 foot.
Let's hop over to Sweden against China. And China leading 1-0 on sheet A. This is the second end. And, ooh, that looks interesting.
Anna
for Anna
Hasselborg,
Hasselborg.
second straight end, she's got a run back. The first end, she missed the run back. Now here, looking for the run double to bring that other redstone into play. The Olympic champion, runner-up last year at the Worlds. Will make contact with 2. And will be able to get her 1. Sticks around on the side of the 12-foot.
Still a really, really nice shot from Hasselborg. She's such an accurate player. Meantime, back here,
Hey, box.
things have all gone really out of the
Gut, die Länge gewesen.
main area.
Gut.
But you go away for a second and everything changes.
Couple of guards in play, now something for Russia to use. Trying to bring play to the center.
Мало добавила. Линии побольше. 4 до не надо. 6, 8. Линии побольше линии. Линия будет.
Отсаживается.
Катя! Отлично. Галя первая. Норма вес.
8.
Оу. Супер!
Хорош.
Молодец!
В какой-то момент казалось, что он сейчас еле дом зацепит.
Нолик, да?
Well, because of the height of the guard, it's a good spot, top 8 foot.
Viertel! Viertel. Der ist eine Möglichkeit, oder
Ich
der?
einfach den aufmachen und vielleicht so etwas halten von dem. Nicht gut.
Sie wird wahrscheinlich nochmal eine Guard machen. Sie können auch den aufmachen. Ja, ich hätte jetzt glaube den, also kann Shot werden da. Dann geht sie vielleicht rundum. Aber ich habe das Gefühl, den können wir fast immer tappen. Oder? Oder du, also ich glaube, du kommst auch an den her, wenn du einen Viertel siehst.
Gate! Gate!
Ja. Ich glaube schon, ja. Ein bisschen weniger.
Mit Heck,
Heck oder Board, ja, hätte ich jetzt gesagt. Und weißt du, schlimmstenfalls, wenn vorher ein bisschen arbeiten ist offen.
Ja,
What were they concerned about there, Luke?
Question was how much they could see of that one. Is there enough to make a play to remove it? And it looks like that's the call. We're going to try and come down with the intern, get to enough, and want to stick around in the side of the 12 foot. Because of how high in the house it is, it's
nehmen da ein bisschen
in a
auf,
real
bevor
good
es
spot for
weggeht.
Russia, and although it just peaked out a little bit on the outside.
There's the bench looking on. Swiss bench. Every move is analysed.
Länge gut! Oh, nicht fest, warte!
So that light coming on there, that means the stone is good. It was released before the line, the hog line. As it's known, past that guard.
Komm, gut, ich nehme ihn, Meli. Ist gut.
All about where it finishes here as well.
Fest!
Real good job there, using that sweep and getting that late finish, as you saw Neuenschwander on it to sweep to try and get as much curl as possible on the quiet weight. Rolls off to the side. Lie one.
Super Länge.
Brings a blank still in order. You play the draw and miss it, you may have to take one.
Fest ist!
Here's that sweeping of Neuenschwander. Try and get it to move towards the intended target.
Fest ist!
Rolls off to the side.
Gut! Schön!
Sehr schön.
Bravo!
Still be tough to get a blank because of those guards, but better chance now because there's only one stone in play.
Поднять, поднять.
Geil, давай, давай,
О,
давай,
вообще
давай,
нет!
давай. Окей.
So away they both go. That was the plan.
Сильнее даже, не знаю, не засекала. Да, сильнее, и он вкрученный очень.
Да, по правилам.
Well, they didn't want to risk missing it, but they're rolling out. Chance to use that corner guard for Switzerland.
Also 90 ist gut. Vor 98, ja.
Lena's thrown 3 draws already in the first 2 ends of
Länge
this
ist gut.
game.
Vor 12! Linie wird gut,
Expect her to be real close on this draw.
Linie ist gut!
Linie ist super.
Nur Länge!
Von 8.
Länge ist gut! Linie ist sehr gut!
Muss fahren.
Von
Nein,
nein, die Linie ist sehr gut! Ziehen den bis da!
Ist er noch nicht fest?
Nicely past that first guard there. What's the line like?
Ja, schon, aber ja.
Only just top 12 foot. There's not a lot of separation between those two.
90 gespielt.
Sehr schön, Länge ist nicht so
Working hard at the sweeping. You can hear them catching their breath now. And it goes using the 2 brushes to help the curl round past the other yellow.
Because it's only in the top of the house, Russia's electing, rather than play the run back, they're going around everything.
Какой, вот этот?
Вот этот они мало проходили.
Слушай, да я думаю, пройдем.
Пойдем?
1470 у них было.
Куда надо привезти?
Нужно привести в белую полностью.
14:00
Мы туда за него,
Да.
в тела чуть задо.
Да, у них 14:70 было.
Ага.
Поднять!
Сзади!
Поднять!
Прям
Ничего.
ждать.
Не-не-не,
Вообще нет, вообще.
Catches that top guard.
Окей.
Окей.
You saw in the previous one how close they actually got by that top one to get the right path. And a little bit more weight. It ran straighter, longer
Блин, не
for
надо было
Russia.
сначала брать.
And then
Да.
now leaving draw
Jetzt ist
for the second point and a good answer right back by Switzerland.
Mega viel aus. Ich kann einfach ein bisschen länger, wie sie jetzt gefühlt hat.
Einen Meter schneller als
Ja, das
normal.
Gefühl, ja. Kannst du geben, ja.
So einen 80er.
Ja, das finde ich
Da
sehr
bin
gut.
ich sicher irgendwo im Haus mit
Ja.
dem 80er,
Ja.
oder?
Also ich habe das Gefühl, ein 90er mit voll durchhämmern würde noch länger, aber...
Ja, sicher gut. Komm so zwischen 80 und 90.
Ja.
T-Line.
Ja.
Well, for this team in their first World Championship as a foursome,
alles fertig.
real good start to this one. They can.
Lotzhanden.
Selena Pat's throwing another draw.
Yep, this is the
Immer im Haus.
her
T-Line.
last and the last stone of this end.
14-0. Sehr schön.
And fairly straightforward. She's had a few practices at this for her too. A very good outcome for Switzerland, bouncing right back, as you said, Luke.
Steffi tut zur Sicherheit. Ja,
To
sicher
three ends now.
nicht.
Switzerland in good shape as
Gut,
well.
Frauen.
Russia 2, Switzerland 3 after 3.
Ja. Gut, den 16 müssen wir wieder anbleiben.
Если мы...
Так можно форсить было.
Мы что, не пробиваем, отдаем 2, так у нас возможность была украсть 1.
Das ist nichts gegeben. Ich habe einen 80er. Nur
Eigentlich ist recht gut. Ich weiß nicht, ob es sogar, aber ich bin recht knapp in den
Nein, gut. Jetzt laufen fest.
That's the numbers so far.
Fest dann.
Kann man machen.
Okay, da.
All adds up to just a very tight contest between these two, as we thought it would be beforehand.
Schön so. Sehr gut so.
Komm, Eli. Die Seite.
Yeah, and I'm sure we might see Switzerland with the centerline guard. A little bit more of an aggressive approach to this one with that play. Try and force play to the center, especially without the hammer. I've seen a few mistakes from this Russian team and Kovaleva. Try and maybe use that to generate some offense without the hammer. See if they can get some steals in place.
Of course, they did start off with that steal in the very, very first end.
Corner guard in plays. The chess match begins of where you go about trying to set up your end.
And we know the plan can change throughout the end, depending on good things that happen and also mistakes.
Vorne 4.
Jetzt kannst du fertig machen.
Need this to get past that guard. It does. And to come around.
Sehr schön. Gut.
Komm, Eli.
Seeing a
Voll gut.
good consistent curl so far, especially late. They'll finish real hard in the house. That one
Sehr schön. Ich finde
only 4 or 5 feet behind that guard and perfectly buried.
Физ контакт!
Линии пока побольше.
Пока
Внимание,
контакт!
линия надо будет, да, свип. Воу.
Только линия!
Да, свип, свип.
Это 4 фута!
On this one, they can't hold. That one crashed hard into the guard.
And you could hear the panic in the voices.
Да.
They knew that was coming, they couldn't do anything about it.
Нет, надо было просто брать. Мы кричали свип. Чтобы не сразу сориентировались на как.
Well, it's a couple of draws that we've seen Russia not able to execute right after this, basically the same path. By the Swiss side.
Типа, что линия, да-да-да, я говорила, что это...
Hard. Sometimes you got to anticipate that line call of how you go about it. Getting on it early to hold the line out there. We'll see if that plays a factor. So that's 2 in the last 2 ends.
Is the Nunchon there?
Hey, viel Platz.
Wide out down this side, look, really wide.
Fest, Alina. Fest. Komm fest, alles.
There's that switch of sweeping. So now they got the player sweeping with the curl to try and get it to curl while keep dragging it. Seemed a real cautious approach on that with the line, giving lots of ice, not sure exactly what it's going to do.
Hätte noch ein bisschen mehr können mitgeben.
It just looked like it gave them too much to do, the sweepers, too much to expect.
And you just saw it, it looked like Neuenschwander made a motion that maybe on release she put it out. So when putting the spin on the intern, the clockwise rotation, she maybe just pushed it out from where the broom is, and it never came back.
Just a fraction too much. And also out wide, the ice is slightly different as well, isn't it? That's not, it's an uncharted territory. To squeeze that through.
Well, it's an interesting result.
Где-то вообще
How it
там.
played out. They
До
just touched that
свидания,
one.
шел.
Get shot stone.
Ja, nicht schlecht. Ja. Sport, gut.
Yeah, it's not actually the worst thing to have happened to
Der
them
Rekord
there.
war vorher 11:3 gewesen.
Ja, nicht so weit. Aber ich weiss, glaube ich, wie Wort ist.
Gut.
Schneller! Ja, mehr. Ist aber gut, Linie. Achtung. Fest. Fest.
Komm her, ja. Taxi. Komm.
Schön.
No problem.
Just you see the experience of Tiranzoni in the house, able to call that one, no real panic,
Gut angezeigt.
and rolls away.
10-7. Ja, ja, ist im Feinen gewesen.
Got rid of the trouble fairly effortlessly.
Внимание! Да, свип! Свип!
Свип! Да, держать!
Да, 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 да! Воу, воу, воу!
Катерол! Да-да-да-да!
Супер.
Get some rolls.
Хорош, Галь.
A good position.
Looks like they are shot stone, or very close.
Solid.
Ты перестарались. Не, если честно, казалось, что это, он так пошел.
Nase. Wäre ein bisschen übergörlen, hä?
Ja, aber dann stoßen wir dann der Rot rein. Schön auf die Nase. Ja.
Achtung, Butter! Tia!
Fest.
Tia! Tia!
Wow.
Using her own here.
Wow.
Oh. Okay. Gut. Gut. Gut gespielt.
Well, had 2 choices on that. They could try and run the red straight back and make it that way. They elect to use their own. And the way she hit it ends up leaving them bunched together on the side.
Давай чуть-чуть побольше, пожалуйста.
Russia now has some backing and the corner guard to use with the hammer in this fourth end.
Well, they didn't seem too unhappy with the way that turned out there, the Swiss team.
Добавлен. Фриз, контакт!
What is Galova do here
Фриз,
for
пока ждем.
Russia?
Пока контакт! Подсаживается!
Ждем.
Фриз! Не будет! Фриз!
Да, свип.
Фриз!
Да.
Контакт! Контакт!
Нет, ничего вообще поднять,
That's
вообще
that
нет.
top guard. It's gonna just knock off that there.
Хорош.
Yellow. And it's pretty exposed there, isn't it?
Всё видим,
They do
да?
have the protection of those two Yellowstones. That's
Хорош.
why
Молодец.
where the roll went to by Tirinzoni wasn't the
Да,
best
вы так
position.
заорали, что мы думали, что всё, там уже линия
Almost better
совпадает.
rolling out because now you got to get around across the face of this to remove that red stone out of play.
Backline.
Backline, ja, das ging wissen.
Ist gut. Uns möglichst nass, oder?
Also eher möglichst schnell.
Ja.
Also ja.
Ja.
Aufmachen wäre auch noch. Aber nein, ist gut.
Go backline.
In 12 nur. Ist gut, warte schnell.
Tia, Knopf. Tia!
Ja, hard. In 12,
Go,
hin
go, 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 go. Go, 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 go.
Nimm raus.
Ja.
Top guard.
Oh, that was the risk. You had to play it tight to the guard and you don't get by.
Meantime, let's hop over to that Japan-Scotland game again. Look, on sheet C, Japan, those two steals. What's happening now?
Well, it looks like they got 4 in the rings, possibly 5. Sophie Jackson now has to play her final shot, trying to get her first points of this World Championship.
Clean.
Wants to make the nose hit.
Whistle.
And no problem there for the Scottish national champion.
Yep, 2-1 Japan. Two new teams, new experiences for them here
Мне нравится,
on this
но мне
world
нравится,
stage.
да, если честно, вести
Главное, чуть больше не пап. Ну, вообще мне нравится, если что,
прям
давай
начало,
вот так
чтобы
вот
он был
закатить.
ближе тех двух, конечно.
Тебе тек
но
нравится? Мне нравится
чтобы
вести.
прием был дальше.
А, вести не получится, да? Ну, слабым очень.
А куда ты
И
хочешь
не
привести?
повезем.
Ну, мне нравится либо вести, либо пробить вот так вот.
Пробить, наверное, мне не очень нравится. Давай повезем тогда.
Давай.
Поставь побольше.
Ну, побольше тоже не
Ну,
очень,
просто
потому что
если
здесь
глубоко
наш.
привести, она
No,
вниз
Igor's
не
making of it all so far.
Куда мы везем, Нина?
4
And
до.
lots of stones
Прям
in play.
так глубоко,
Лучше,
да?
чем желтые.
Ага, окей.
Я думаю, что тоже похуже покатит.
Да,
Широко.
да, я
Well,
думаю,
it's a
да.
opportunity with the hammer. They scored a deuce in the
Хотя бы
second.
80,
Make a nice
на
draw. You
краю
can
он
set
выглядел
2 up,
конец 8.
maybe even 3.
90-80.
Да, 90 где-то. Добавлен?
As there is a stagger of those two guards out in front, there's no run back on it also.
Доти!
Катя!
Покати Лайза!
Воу, легче.
Подсаживается!
Воу.
4 до! 6 до!
Вау.
Вперед. 4 сам.
Только Галя, если надо вес.
Да. Оу.
Нет,
Да. Супер.
Wow, that's
Молодец.
well placed. That couldn't have gone to a better spot.
Спасибо. Хорош.
Yep,
Прям
they're
не хотелось брать, чтобы
Very
туда
happy with
слишком
that.
глубоко не
finished
залез.
product there.
4 за.
Russia
Я сказала, Катя,
Counting
взять,
two.
потому что как бы
in this fourth end.
Reinwicken.
Ja,
Ja.
wie lang?
So, also so Clearing, für mich etwas zwischen Clearing solid ist gut.
Ja, gut, das so
Also
gäbe
so
ich.
7,5, 8.
Ja.
Gut. Lauf gut geraten.
Carolina, let's get them out of this mess here.
Super!
Big lightweight, because even if they miss it, they want to make sure they kill this red stone. That couldn't have had a worse result.
Yeah. The old risk and reward thing there, Luke.
They're trying to just hit and roll off it. And worry about trying to remove that one.
And again, it boils down to that shot from Zoni earlier on. Those two stones, those two yellows. Very much advantage Russia now.
Она не повезет фриз, она будет выталкивать его, скорее всего, с роллом внутрь.
Она взяла фриз?
Да, на наш. Можно чуть тэп.
Ага.
Similar type path that was just thrown, try pulling right on the face of it.
Это сзади выглядит.
Толкнем.
6 за. 6 за.
Свип! Свип! Да!
Just one sweeper here.
Свип!
Looks like it changed, maybe trying to move and split that red one.
Воу! Хорош. Лучше, нет?
Still just 1-2 for Switzerland. That one gets in for third shot, then
Yeah.
shot becomes a lot more pressure packed.
Yeah, they were trying to make it 3, Russia there, counting.
Mit dem Zehnenhalb. Bester hat da vorhin Zehnenhalb gespielt. Also 11 zwischen Zehnenhalb und 11.
Inzwischen nehmen wir dann fast lieber so.
Ja.
Ist gut, ja, den hast du.
So, Zehnenhalb, ist gut.
Ja.
Well, a real must make now for Pat.
Zehnenhalb. Ja, reinwicken.
Knows it might leave a double. 3 into play. A few other spots she could roll to, but she could also make the perfect roll back button, and then there's not much left for Russia.
Seems to get this in and counting. And she doesn't.
Some uncertainty after that one of the result.
And one red.
Или не будем просто
Like there's a draw, like just a quiet draw to tap that one back a little bit. Score 3. Play the regular in-turn, come around behind that corner. Don't have to move that yellow one much.
Вес где-то чуть зати. Либо просто второй лучше, либо чуть толкнем. Если линия будет, просто будем уже затирать.
У нее просто тогда с центра сильно повалил, помнишь?
Да. Ну тогда гард меньше стоял, она же в него попала.
Already counting 1.
Чуть-чуть побольше. По весу чуть зати.
Let's see what she can get out of this last stone of this 4th end. There's a lot of shouting going on.
Real big scrub to move this one.
Just want to nudge this so it's not counting anymore. How's it looking?
They just got it. They got their 3, but they use about every ounce and every inch they had to work with. Because Mina and Arsenkina made that one for their skipper.
Yeah, they'll be delighted with that. 5-3 now after 4. How significant will that end be, I wonder, for Russia?
Но он и был такой нежный, мне кажется, я особо не вставляла его. Да.
6,5.
So now Russia in the lead,
Надо пониже, надо
back
пониже.
in the lead. It's
Давай,
going
давай, 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 давай. Ещё пониже, ещё
both ways all the way through, switching, lead switching.
давай, давай.
Good shots. Now Russia have the advantage, 5-3 after those first 4 ends. They just want to keep Switzerland at bay in this 5th end. Not leaving too many openings, and perhaps get a steal if they can.
Länge ist recht gut.
Mitte bis 3.
Switzerland have to go in the offensive.
Yeah, they definitely have to go on the offensive. And last end, they were in a good position. It's a little unfortunate, bad luck. Wade here and Zoni rolled over and froze to their other one, left a pocket. But Russia still had to make their shot. They made a nice freeze, got some misses, and they capitalized with their shots and made them. But really, it all came down to Kuzmina and Arsenkina able to hold that one, push it just far enough, and get 3.
Показать и выглядит.
Настя, да, линия очень. Линия очень. Линия отличная, только вес легче. Только вес, только
Сам,
вес.
вес сам. Пятак.
Перевалит.
Зайти чуть-чуть.
Сейчас вылезет.
Нет, до.
Хорошо, подсядь.
Стой.
Окей. Вылез.
Хорош, молодец.
Oh, Russia going to try and stay on it. Nice come around. Just keeping the pressure on.
Jetzt fährst du erst schnell.
Finden gut?
Länge ist recht gut.
Vorne 4, im Moment innen lang.
Oh,
Länge
Länge
ist
gut.
gut.
Ich glaube, er ist schnell.
Hinten 4.
Und ab, Länge ist
Immer noch
gut.
hinten 4.
Hinten 4, ja.
T-Line.
Und oben
Vorne
runter.
4.
Klappt nicht, klappt nicht. Nur dran, ja. Sehr schön.
Bravo. Gut.
Добре, Давай тоже нолик. Можно чуть-чуть побегать.
Well, frozen on top, so everyone doing their part so far.
Добавлю
You
немного.
have the lead players
Линия отличная, только вес.
getting those stones into position
Пока
for
побольше
later on in the
линий.
end.
Побольше линий, девочки, легче.
Кать, давай.
Катя.
Катя и до конца.
Да. Контакт нельзя.
Воу.
Да, чуть-чуть по линии завалить.
Окей.
Let's check on that Japan-Scotland game again for you on sheet C, all about the ones. Now we're in the 4th end, and again, Japan in a good position.
Yeah, the 2 rookie teams at their first World Championship trying to make a mark. And Ikue, Kitazawa, chance here, they hit and stick, score 2. And she's unable to hold around, and off to a good start here against Scotland. 4-1 after 4 ends there.
10.5だ。
Over here, we're 5-3
Okay.
to Russia. Russia with the red
С
stones,
этой вот как они сейчас везли.
Switzerland with the yellow.
Уже вот так.
Что так? Все наше уходит или что?
Так же толкнуть
Мы
не
оба
нравится?
камня не выбьем точно,
Так же толкнуть не нравится?
чтобы этот выкатился
Я вот не
сюда.
знаю.
Нет, просто стоим.
А, также
Один
их,
просто
Миша,
сюда.
с этой стороны,
Ну,
да,
я не
нравится.
знаю, что значит.
Если что, фриз прямой.
Я просто то же самое показывала, а ты ко мне приехала, я думала, так эта идея
Я
появилась.
думала, ты идешь, хочешь поговорить.
Like a lot easier to laugh after that 3 last end.
Yeah, enjoying themselves.
Фриз тоже нормально.
Good to see
Главное не откатиться
the other
наружу.
team looking a little more tense, it has to be said.
12,70, надо выставить линию, даже может отличаться от нашего.
Такой же, как по той стороне?
14 где-то.
Да, чуть сильнее можно.
Well, they could guard here, they could come and try and freeze right on top. They are lying 1.
Добавлен.
Хороший вес, легко.
Вес!
Да, линия очень.
Очень!
Надо,
Да,
вес,
вес,
да. Вот, да,
нельзя, не
очень.
бросай!
Давай, Катя, очень.
Давай!
Да, сделай, давай.
Nice shot by the Russian side. They're just riding this momentum. And
let's check on the Olympic champion, shall we? Sweden against China. China leading 3-1 though. Fourth end now.
yeah, and facing a couple more Chinese stone. Wang Rui and her team playing very well so far, putting Anna Hasselborg into difficult shot after difficult shot. She's now got to draw side of the button to get one.
Well, we see her rescuing the team. That's what she's good at. What can she do here?
It'll be hard to top her season from a year ago with an Olympic gold and a world silver medal, but trying to win her first world championship. Have to get it past that one, and will over curl, come up a bit shy, and it's a steal of one. Well, here it was to try and move some stones around. Those red ones belonging to Russia all moved all around, but if a run back is made, this will look completely different.
So using this top red here. 1-2.
Look at them fly to lie fourth. Fantastic. Brizgalova. Oh, yeah, I'll just make the raise double.
She made that look easy, and she got the weight, the angles just perfect. 1-2, away the two yellows go, and look at those 4 red stones sitting pretty there. All about the angle, bang.
Yeah, just perfect. Didn't overthrow it, didn't have to throw huge weight.
It's a very measured. So no wonder they're feeling relaxed and happy. In a great position. And kind of continuing where they left off, looking at previous end actually.
Sizing up a possible double, maybe triple.
And again, we know how quickly things can change, so let's wait and see. And this team are more than capable of that. Changing the look of this end.
In the feet
Past the guard, 1, 2.
And it is third shot. Russia getting in that defensive mode where you play the hit. Might you think just ignoring it since you're lying 2?
It's pretty close to that top red guard there, but sneaked past.
Там просто слишком полностью так только мало.
Ну, может, чуть-чуть замазать.
Борт. Если мало выпадать, то он не уйдет, он об него вниз пойдет.
Да, но я думаю, что если хотя бы бортом делать, нормально будет.
Ну да.
Там нас полкамня, в принципе, тоже устроит. Главное, не острее.
Да, окей.
Борт.
Борт?
Да, Катька, приготовься, мне кажется, меня повалит.
Да.
We saw her make a
Да, свет,
super shot with
Во,
her
влез
first
себе.
stone.
Во, поднять, поднять. Ничего, девочки, вообще
So
нет.
it's all about consolidating now, look, is it?
Очень плохо,
Just trying to make sure you punch it through the hole without disturbing your own.
Вытирай.
That's not a bad effort either.
Yeah, it's a good result.
Yep.
Although it does
30 было.
leave some of that scoring area open for Switzerland to try and generate some offense.
Хорош. Прямовато, да, пошел.
Да,
Это чуть-чуть
я думала
посильнее.
больше.
ganz sacht.
Besser als der da.
Ganz sacht wäre super, ja. Wenn er dann nur da ist, aber die Linie ist auch okay.
Ja.
Da läuft es gut raus. Immer noch gleich.
Gerade ganz 8 Fuß, Meli.
Es ist immer noch gleich wie im Einspielen, Tiri.
Okay, gut.
85.
Ja.
Finde ich gut.
This one needs to be top 8 foot, full 8
Sehr
foot.
knapp.
Länge ist okay.
Nur Nelly.
Nelly.
Ich bin schon, ja.
Needs to be
Sicher,
second
Nelly.
shot.
Nelly.
Er muss nicht gerlen.
Wow.
Okay, Linie ist gut.
Knapp, Länge.
Weißt du?
Knapp.
Ja.
8 Fuß.
Wechsel.
8 Fuß.
Ja. Ha, komm, hilf mit, Melli, komm. Komm, musst mithelfen. Komm, go, 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 go.
Gotta go try and get second shot out of that. It's behind the guard, but it's still third shot.
Okay.
So not quite going Switzerland's way at the moment.
Тогда везем, надо полностью в белую.
Ага. Ниже хуже?
Ну, 4 фута хорошо.
Ага, окей.
До Ти, все, что до Ти, идеально.
Да, чуть-чуть побольше. Еще немного.
So we'll
Вроде
ignore that
неплохо
one.
катит с колея это.
Come around the center, try and go top part of the house. Really trying to close in that scoring zone.
Я, собственно,
Добавлен?
добавила. Нет,
4
мало
фута.
добавила.
4, 6.
Да, Кать, да.
Лучше обязательно.
Молодец! Начало!
Давайте, давайте, лучше сделать. Ви.
8!
Давай, давай, давай.
Similar
половину
line to
белую.
the Swiss
Давай,
stone
давай,
here.
давай, давай, до конца, до конца.
Sweeping hard, coming round now.
Давай, 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 давай.
Where's it going to finish?
It's in there to lie 3.
Yeah, good sweeping there. On the front end.
А у меня тогда сколько был? 3 с половиной. 8, ну добавлен был. А так,
В принципе, не очень хорошо катит сторона эта.
Ich glaube, wenn wir direkt hinterher
Yeah,
gehen,
1,
kann es
2,
immer
3
irgendwie
there for Russia. Those red stones.
zusammenhalten.
Gut, ja. Ein bisschen über die Centerline. Find's gut.
Shot stone back 4 foot open.
That's the one they're after.
Zusammenhalten!
Ja, ja. Ja. Wow.
Tia!
Fest.
Tia! Ja, ja.
Sorry.
So they get rid of it. Where is it going to finish?
Still gonna leave Russia 1-2. Just goes too far. And
Gut gespielt.
Lena's had struggles last little bit. Last couple ends with her hits.
Ага. Так же?
Да.
Just at 50% on her
Чуть-чуть
takeouts on the
побольше
game.
стану.
You have to measure that up with how difficult the shots have been, though, don't you?
За него
little
туда везем в пятак.
Oh, absolutely, it's a skip. You're gonna not have the easiest shots all the time.
2, 2, да.
And what the bench are making of it. Taking a close look through the binoculars. The Russian coach. He must be very pleased with the way his team's going at the moment.
Kovaleva makes a nice draw here and really put it to Switzerland and forced a tough shot on her last.
4-6 за пока. Подсаживается, 4-2.
Вау! Столько Гали нет!
Все,
That's the
вытирай
yellow,
передачу.
and
Кать,
it
вытирай,
comes.
вытирай, вытирай. Давай, 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 давай.
Wants it to be counting ahead of that yellow, which it is.
The live 3.
Что ты хотела?
Чуть-чуть.
That's the thing. I think at one point they were trying to get a little rub on that outside one.
Хотя бы закрыть что-нибудь.
and just try and take some of the weight off because they're just too heavy.
Ну, типа, либо его уж вытереть хуже, либо, типа, ну, что такое.
So a deep breath here for Switzerland. Facing 3 red Russian stones.
A piece of the forefoot will do it for Pats, who's been solid on her draw.
Esther, musst. Fest, Esther, fest. Esther, komm.
Trying to make sure they get to that backing.
Good.
And they needed it there.
Yep, that's, I'm sure, a measure of relief from Switzerland. Getting a single point to keep them right in this game. There we go. They head into the break. And it's Russia 5, Switzerland 4 after 5. Second end. Russia line 1. But could they make it 2? Kovaleva with the last stone here. Just wants to nudge the yellow away, and she does score 2 points to get a 2-1 lead. Third end. Has caught the guard, and now Switzerland with a draw for 2. That's with the final stone for Switzerland. Guiding this in, no problem for Switzerland. Back in the lead, 3-2. Fourth end.
Чуть-чуть побольше.
Switzerland already lying 1. Final stone for Kovaleva. She had to work hard, our sweepers had to work hard, nudging it, moving it enough. Take a 5-3 lead. And Switzerland with a point in the 5th, but Russia lead 5-4 after the first 5. Japan against Scotland.
Looks there, very close of who is second shot, but Sophie Jackson, chance to get her first deuce of the game, cut into that lead. The intern tap back to score a 2.
We're more than T.
This all rookie battle in draw in session 1. This year's World Championship.
Whoa! Whoa! 8, 9. Clean, yep! Yes! Yes! Hard.
This one looks real good. Comes down, says right on the button, score their 2. Nicely done for the Scots, so they're down 4-3 into their 5th end break.
Катюх что-то там это вообще надолго ушла.
Все равно они начинают. Что, можем пойти на рыбка?
А где туалеты поблизости?
А только в раздевалках они говорили. Да, да.
Иди, минута еще. Да не, я потом схожу после этого, Янда, когда мы...
Ich lasse mich Villa hetzen, wenn ich die bin, am Stein bin. Wenn ich sage, ich finde ihn gut und Esser sagt, er ist kurz, dann fange ich an zu wischen, weil ich am Stein bin. Und sage, wie er Esser schaut. Ja, ich glaube, nein, ich habe gesagt, er ist gut.
Ja. Nein, du musst immer für dich schauen.
Ja, es ist blöd, wenn du am Stein bist. Also weißt
Ja,
There's the stats for you in our featured game between Russia and Switzerland. We know the score 5-4 there. And Switzerland up in every area. But they have that one stolen point. It shows how the stats bear out in terms of the score. It's Russia who lead.
Сначала, чтобы агрессивно валить, думаю, что будет очень сильно.
Russia started this game with the hammer. They've used it twice to score multiple points. And as you mentioned, Allison, in the numbers, they've all favor Switzerland, but all the big misses came for Switzerland in that third end. Pardon me, the fourth end, where there was the 3 put up. Tiranzoni rolled to a bad spot on the run. Pats tried to blast one out, didn't remove it, and then missed on her last and left the opportunity for 3.
Russia still had to make it though, so there wasn't too much chat in the Russian bench at the break, but a little bit of animation certainly in the Swiss team there. Look, what were they considering, do you think?
Just trying to figure out, you're trying to get a comfort for the ice. It's trying to understand what certain spots are going to do, talking different paths on the ice, because ones that are used more than others, what they're doing. We're seeing lots of curl and a good speed so far. Keep an eye on it, that if it's changing throughout, but pretty consistent through the first half of this game.
I saw some nicely played shots from this Russian team in that fifth end, particularly from Zilova. Some good skill on show. This is Melanie Barbizat. She's 95% the lead player for Switzerland. So she's certainly placing the shots well at the start.
Well, there's a little miscue by Barbizat. Doesn't get to the right angle on that one. It's a little hit and roll, chance to lie too early for Russia. Had many major swings. It felt like Switzerland was sort of starting to control things after they got their 2 in the third end. But then Russia right back with 3 in the fourth end. And then they get a force in 5.
Я уж хотела на ту сторону, но не получилось.
Алина, я присанула? Нет, нормально все было.
Надо было мне еще, и он бы дошел.
Katerina Kuzmina, just 65% the Russian lead, which is quite interesting, bearing in mind they are on top in the game. And we always talk about how important the lead play is and how accurate they have to be later on.
Definitely makes it an easier position for the rest of your team.
Goed gesagt. Die Seite, Meli. Okay.
Well, leaving that stone in. Gotta make sure that Krasenkina doesn't jam this one on one of those back stones. She's 85% on the game.
Perhaps compensating a little bit for the lead player at this stage. Well, certainly in the first half of the game.
Going right through the hole. Very fortunate they don't jam on that back one.
She knows. We'll take that.
Kannst du auch freisen nochmal? Jetzt haben wir schon angefangen. Oder der, ja. Beides gut.
Ich glaube, ich werde den machen. Gut. Normal. Ja. Tipptopp.
Genau. Länge gut.
Hier. Nein, wo?
Länge gut. Okay. Gute Länge.
Leave that one in the top of the 12-foot, just trading back and forth.
Ja, gut, jetzt haben wir. Ja.
Russia has no problem playing this way around the center.
Спасибо.
They're certainly playing with a lighter feel to their style and their composure, and everything seems to be on track for them at the moment. Very big difference in body language. Ranzoni, she's 78%.
Sicher nicht.
Nimm den anderen.
Achterhoofd.
Nimm den anderen.
Again, just off. They're trying to make a double, and they don't get rid of either. They leave those two red ones around.
They are at the back of the house, though, so
Какой вес?
I thought they might just play the straight come around behind that center, as opposed to hit third shot right now for what belongs to Switzerland. You draw one in behind.
good stats for Anastasia Brizgalova.
Посильнее! О, поднять!
Посильнее.
Ничего, внимание, свип!
They're looking for the roll to center.
Молодец, хорош.
Pretty well done. Problem is, they're trying to make that roll so difficult.
Хорош, молодец.
And if you are trying to get behind that guard, the easier way to get to that spot probably was just the straight draw.
Молодец, супер.
So, Finn.
Ja.
Nonetheless, Switzerland needs to make
Was?
one of these double
Ja.
takeouts.
Ja, ist gut.
Ist gut.
Ranzoni did make a nice double a little earlier on in the game. A nicely measured double. Well, they need something to start going a bit more right for them now.
Zusammenhouden.
Länge gut.
Zusammenhouden. Achtung. Melli. Yep. Immer. Oh. Komm, nimm ihn raus.
Ah,
Gut so.
got it this time.
Gut
Yeah,
gesehen.
quiet way double made by Tiranzoni.
Gut gesehen.
Didn't overthrow it, just wanted to throw it, get the right angle so they held their shooter.
Gute Länge.
Had too many where they've missed and rolled out.
Yeah, at least if you can miss and look for it to stay in. That's still something positive.
Yeah, sometimes curlers think you got to make a double, you got to throw it really hard, but seen two from Tiranzoni where she hasn't had to throw big weight.
It's all about making the granite noisy.
Молодец.
Еще сильнее, да, контрол?
Russia with the hammer, relatively open end, just that one guard. Trying to score another multiple point end,
Ja, Doppelroll.
extend their lead.
Ja, also Doppel einfach mal in erster Linie. Okay, ist gut.
This is the sixth end, folks, in this round-robin game between Russia and Switzerland. We're at the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019. We're inside the Silkeborg Sports Centre, and Silkeborg is in Denmark, kind of central Denmark. A really lovely part of the country. This is Alina Pats.
And in between that, just not able to come up with that. It's been the hit game that's let Alina Pats down so far in this game.
There's only one shot behind, though.
Насколько бьем?
А?
Насколько?
На 2.
Ага.
I believe that. 70% actually, which is quite low for a skip as well.
Вообще нет! Вообще нет! Нет! Да не надо ничего!
Looking for the roll. Needs it to stay in.
Хорош.
It does stick around.
Hop over to Germany and Latvia. We've seen each of these two teams. Just all about the ones there on that scoreboard, Luke.
Yeah, Germany getting those first two early in the first and third. Germany now a chance to draw for 2. Familiar face, Daniel Jentsch.
Ihr habt allen Platz der Welt,
Skipping
nur
the German
Länge.
side again.
Nur
Needs a piece
Länge.
of the button, it looks like, because I think they're shot back
Nur
button.
Länge von außen.
Bunch of stones in there.
Yep, hard. Alan!
Try to get right down to it and get their 1. Just nudges their own. Enough for their 2.
Gut gesehen,
And
Mädels,
it
super.
is so 2 for Germany and a 4-1 lead.
In time here. And the Pats.
Broken record in that end is not able to make the double. Is the Swiss side leaving the open draw for 2.
Да.
Вроде, да,
Да,
нормально.
поменьше!
Switzerland just not gelling right now. Still only a shot behind. Last stone of the 6. Another opportunity for Russia here to extend their lead.
Давайте, девочки, очень
Хорошо, хорошо, есть цвет, не перетрите.
Well, needs to hit the rings here to get their 2 points.
Хорош. Просто так это показал, слабо едешь, если честно.
Never in doubt for Russia there with that one.
Когда начал шуршать, как будто очень
Мы
много
еще
линий
немного
здесь.
Strong
здесь
position in this
свозили
game.
по этой, как бы по другим более знаем, а здесь не особо, поэтому...
Ага. Ну, не особо сильно просто толкнулась. Он же как-то меня напугал, что шуршать начал. Я думала, что мы сейчас это...
Yep, Russia 7,
подсядет очень.
Switzerland
Мы
4
как
now
шли, семи
after 6.
стерли.
4 фута, еще начало дома.
Да, да, что 2 камня.
So there we go with the numbers so far. 3, a bit of a standout on the scoreboard for Russia in that fourth end. And securing another 2 points to give them a 7-4 lead now, going into end number 7.
Well, they've used the hammer 3 times, multiple points each time. You do that, you're going to win a lot of curling games.
Just seem to have the wind in their sails now a little bit, Luke, and as the ends begin to disappear, Switzerland need something.
Just seem to be chasing and haven't been able to make that hit, make that end saver that they've needed.
Even just to restrict Russia to 1 would have helped. Right, let's see what they can do in this end. Number 7 with the hammer.
А, это похоже на фриз.
Фриз нельзя. Пока нельзя, не бойся.
Это фриз-контакт.
But this is the 5-rock rule now being played out in front. Teams will have to try and play defense a little differently than they have in the past. Can't remove any guards till the 6th stone of the end. Switzerland gets a break. There's a mistake by the Russian lead. Kuzmina.
And she was only playing at 65% for the first half, so it's about capitalising on these mistakes, though, Luke, isn't it? And just being able to execute.
Better put these, especially these guards in play.
Как будто катит получше.
Да, я прежде добавила еще. Пятый, 4.
Добавлен очень.
Настя!
И немного.
Настя! Надо очень Настя, до конца!
Надо поменяться.
Да, давай,
Да, валить, Катя, да.
Давай, давай,
Really need to close up this hole, not leave that one open in the house. And a mistake from Russia. Great opportunity here for Switzerland to take advantage.
Right, meantime, we're heading over again to that Japan-Scotland game. Scotland getting back into it, just trailing 1, 4-3, 6-end now. Oh my goodness, so many stones in play.
And Japan lying 3 already. Chance here, Ikue, Kitazawa, able to chance here, hit, get a little roll into the forefoot. Kitazawa a chance to score 4 and double their score, make it an 8-3 game. Owen gets a little fortunate, touches the top one, and they'll get 4 out of it that way as they take a look, but it is 4 for Japan. Wow. So when things are going your way, you get the little break, go. And a commanding lead there for Japan.
Yep, they're into the 7th end now. So Scotland right up against it.
Yeah, and that Japanese team was really hot during the Japanese National Championship, which they wanted to get to this. And talking to their national coach, J.D. Lind, who's really hoping they can continue that here, and they'll knock some teams off.
So hits and sticks on the edge of the 8-foot there.
Там еще по краю
Russia.
прилично у него заход. Тоже широко долго идет, но потом все-таки заходит.
Some pretty open end, this one.
Vor 8. Eng ist nicht schlecht.
Spielerisch genug,
Viel Platz. Viel Platz.
Mega viel Platz.
Gut, Skarle. Engi, bist vor 8.
Bis
Gut,
Ziel
Skarle.
Ja, zieh, Meli.
Jetzt Angst drauf.
Fest. Zieh, Meli. Der kommt gut, kommt. Fest.
So going down this pathway through that Russia failed to block. Want to get this one round as much as they can.
Schön. Gut, Meli.
Well placed, and I think Switzerland needs to try and get back some of those quiet weight, get into the draw game. They've had success with that. They've had to play the big weight shots. It hasn't worked out in their favor so far.
Ничего, внимание. Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, an unfortunate little break.
Давай, 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 давай.
Хорош.
Pushing that one in. Opens things up though, does Brizgalova.
Ja,
Bis
ein
vier
bisschen höher
Fuß
als der
Höhe.
andere. Ja,
Bis da. Besser ist wieder.
ganz 8 Fuß ist das.
Ein bisschen mehr als ganz acht.
Schon sehr
Die
steil.
Linie ist ein bisschen ähnlich wie der, der vorher gab hast gespielt.
Ja. Ist schon sehr steil, nicht dort anbeißen.
Ich finde es gut.
Well, Tiranzoni has only thrown a couple draws in this game so far. Needs a big one here.
Ich fange an, ist gut. Ja.
Vorne 4. Sieht lang
Linie
aus.
gut.
Nein, vorne 4. Linie ist gut, hä? Zielline.
Länge ein bisschen vorig.
Er wird noch bremsen.
Vorne 4.
Er wird noch bremsen. Sieht verdammt lang aus.
Ja, ist.
Wir sind Zielline.
Auf der Tee.
Staying off it at the moment.
Wir sind ein bisschen hinten dran.
Hinter der Tee.
Ja. Ja. Face it. Ja. Ja, 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 ja,
About this
ja,
late
ja,
finish
ja.
here.
Oh. Okay.
Gut.
Does come in for a second shot, but
Guter
if
Sportler
that's in the
kann
top
das
part,
so
it's tough to remove. It's in a good spot. Stone placement is so important.
It is in behind that top yellow guard. It's a long way away.
Сюда небольшой. Ну, либо сюда выше, но не особо приятно встанет для
Да,
нас.
она будет ролл сюда делать.
А?
Если сюда, то она ролл будет делать вот так.
Да, мне нравится вот так, наверное, пока что.
Мне не нравится внутрь под пятку. Мне тоже. Алина наружу.
Если хочешь, мы можем сами там сначала сделать.
мы нормальный дабл уже пробиваем. А если мы
Ну,
сюда, то это не
давай это.
Well, a couple different options. It looks like with this one, you can hit and
Там, в принципе,
make the double. You can go make the double. You can hit and roll over to the side.
Неудобно для них угол встал.
Ага.
Делаем ролл на Гале маленький, если что, стей.
Окей.
Да, свит! Воу, 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 воу! Воу! Внимание! Свит! Да, 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 да! Жестче до конца! Давай, 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 давай! Окей.
Хорош.
Things could swing right now. Brizgalova unable to make the full roll over.
Ja, Fina oder normal finde ich super, ja. Ja.
Solange die Linie nicht irgendwie blöd
Fina!
kommt, dass die vorne geht, wirklich. Und Fina.
If they ever could just nudge that redstone
Finde ich gut.
few inches, I think they'd be an opportunity to lie three.
Будем что-то расчищать. Если что, здесь.
Well, this is the time to do that. Just get back into this.
Zusammenhalt!
Sehr gut.
Achtung! Zieh! Fest! Zieh! Zieh! Ja, ja,
Just need to touch that one over just a little bit.
Bravo.
Gut.
Gut.
And they seem to like it.
Sehr schön.
Let's hop over to Sweden against China, 4-3. China over Sweden. This is the 6th end now. Let's see what's going on here.
Looks as though China is lying. 1 at the moment. Wang Rui. Draw here, get the 2nd point. Many thought this might have been a little bit of a mismatch coming in. The Olympic champ against a first-time world skip. Correction, not the draw. They're playing a little tap on that one. Able to get there too. They do get that too, and a 6-3 Chinese lead. 4 ends remaining.
Yeah, looking good for China there. Over to our featured game. Russia in control. Shot from Switzerland. This is the Russian response now. Heading the outside stones here. Oh.
Look, we'll move them all.
Again, a really nice shot from Russia.
Kovaleva just feeling it right now. She's made the shots when needed.
Я просто боялся, да, что мы вот этот заджемим.
Good execution from Russia. Over to you, Switzerland.
It's always easier when you got the lead, you can play those. Now it doubles tough because you roll out. Pats needs to make a couple of shots, try and generate a deuce.
So, aber 80 ist gut.
Ja, voll.
Ja.
Ja.
Vor 8.
Länge ist okay. Linie ist gut. Länge ist gut.
Linie sehr gut.
Länge ist vorig. Ganz 4 Fuß.
Musst.
So we like the line so far.
Fest, komm. Länge ist gut. Fest, nehmen alles jetzt. Komm. Fest, bis zum Schluss. Länge ist vorig. Fest, jetzt.
Komm, gib
Linie
ihm.
ist schön. Oh. Gut so, schön. Schön.
Well, looks pretty well placed.
Gut gewischt.
She has been spot on with her draws.
Yeah, I'm not sure they could have done much better than that in terms of what Russia have to do.
Only thing is maybe a little bit higher, not quite as far, but they had to go to finish it. Might be a chance for Russia to play off their own. They could come down, they could corner freeze it, follow the same line.
Плохо стоит, да?
Нет, неудобно.
А где он стоит вообще?
Он стоит на Тилане.
Ровно,
У них
да?
было 14-0.
Да.
14-0, да?
Да,
14-04, 14-07 у нас играли.
Нам надо фризик.
Мгм. Да-да-да.
Линия надо будет.
Внимательно, контакт
I
нельзя!
think that's what they're doing. Look,
Кажется, сильнее.
Пока контакт,
Воу!
пока есть контакт.
Нельзя вес вообще.
4 за. 4 за.
Не трогай.
12-8. Вообще идеальный вес.
Just need this one to stop
Не-не-не,
and
ничего,
curl.
ничего, вообще нет, вообще нет.
Окей.
Just
Ладно, нормально.
that little bit extra weight, it didn't curl. And an opportunity for 2.
Прям чуть-чуть бы он побольше пошел валить, был бы...
12-60. Чуть не довалил.
we need to curl a bit sooner and pull up a bit sooner, so it was the top, at the top of that
Nach der Linie.
yellow stone. But it's out there, it's exposed, and Switzerland can get it for 2 shots here to get them right back into this.
Schnell kommst. So. Sport. Hecksport. Heck, okay. Ja. Ich finde sie es recht gut so.
Ja, ist gut.
Wird sicher gerne nach der Linie.
Also, ist gut.
Also. Gut. Heck.
Heck plus! Ja, ja.
Barbasette, Neuenschwander, got to get it by, and they won't.
Oh, and things aren't going your way. They're not going your way at all. Disappointment yet again for Switzerland, and Pats with that final stone. Oh my goodness, that was a real chance to get themselves back into it. Just not happening for them at the moment. And Russia must be very pleased indeed. Steal to set them up for an 8-4 lead after 7.
Да, конечно, лучше дом. Надо было просто озвучить эту ошибку, чтобы на всякий случай, да.
Into the 8th end now for a featured game between Russia and Switzerland at the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019. Great to have you with us for the start of all the action here in Silkeborg in Denmark. First games in the round robin. Alison Walker and Luke Coley bringing you live commentary on this game and updates from elsewhere. Well, who would have thought in that last end it looked relatively straightforward for Switzerland, and look what happened.
Yeah, the whole end really wasn't setting up great for Switzerland, but then Alina Pats makes that great come around, followed up by Kovaleva, just a hair heavy, and they can't finish it off. That's sort of been the way this game has gone. First 3 ends was sort of Switzerland controlling things a little bit, and then the 3 by Russia, and they've just been rolling ever since.
They've produced some nice stuff, but they haven't had to work too hard. No points.
Look at stats, it may be misleading because it's not how many you miss, it's which ones you miss and which ones you make.
Important shots at the important time. In the 8th end now, and I keep saying there's still time. There's still time for Switzerland. 2 here. It's 8-6.
Look at the lead comparison, and things been set up really well by Melanie Barbasette. Kuzmina's had some misses, but they've been able to overcome those.
Kovaleva has played well most of the game for Russia. Strategy certainly hasn't been a problem for both teams. It's been the execution for Switzerland, really. They've known what shots to make. Not quite made them when it mattered. And this team have.
Well, and this is the little change in the game now this year. You can't go up and peel those guards yet. So fifth stone comes into the rings for Arsenkina. Not much to choose between those two.
Steady, steady players, both of them.
Nein, ich will nicht. Ich kann noch nicht einfriesen.
Okay. Gut.
Vor 8. Ich habe das Gefühl, ich
Linie ist recht
stehe.
gut. Linie ist gut.
Linie gut.
Vor 8. Ist alles bei euch. Linie ist gut. Lass die Hände noch.
Vor 8.
Linie ist gut.
Vor 8.
Linie ist gut.
Vor 4.
Linie sehr gut.
Zielline.
Okay. Nicht so
Linie
schnell.
sehr
Gut.
mehr.
Ist okay.
Nein, die Line ist gut.
Schön ist das.
Schön.
Gut. Schön. Tipptopp.
Schön.
No surprise now seeing the peels into the part of the end where you can remove any stones in play.
So it's 8th then for Russia. You've got to be thinking, we're in a great position here. We don't need to do anything fancy. Just play the game out, play the scoreboard. Totally different strategy for the Swiss team.
Vor 4. Vor 8. Zielline. Zielline. Hinten 4.
Ja, hinten 4.
Hinten 8.
Zieh, wenn ihr könnt.
Hinten 8.
Wir sind hinten 8. Hinten 12 fast.
Zieh.
Now trying to use those Russian stones to their advantages. Switzerland.
Over to Japan, Scotland again on sheet C. That amazing end for Japan in 6th. They lead 8-3 at the moment, and this is end number 7. Look.
Yeah, and it looks like it's a tough one to try and get your 2 for Sophie Jackson. Has to try and make the short run back first, and if she can get a little to the inside and roll her shooter over, there's a chance at 2, but a very difficult one at that. Well, they'll make the run and will make the roll, but they can't hold the stone they raised up.
Yeah, just one there. Running out of ends there too.
Long way back, especially without the hammer for Scotland. Switzerland down 4 here has the hammer. And is now facing 2 counters, top and back of the button.
Закричу, давай туда большой.
Вообще там неплохо прям все стоит.
А?
Там дырка неплохая, в принципе.
Через начало дома?
Если ее
Через начало, да.
So. Wahrscheinlich fast besser, ja.
Mit einem feinen.
Ja, fein ist gut, ja. Ich finde es Maxi so. Wir haben da jetzt immer zu wenig Girls.
Also gut. Für wie lange?
Feine.
Okay.
So.
A lot of reds in play, but this is a very patient approach, trying to see if they can accumulate some yellow stones in play.
Gerade ganz versteckt hinter der Art.
Hit and roll off that top one, try and roll behind the corner.
Good decision.
You make the shot, it's great. I like the thought process. You need to try and use your corner guard. Those ones in the rings for Russia are actually helping you right now.
Kurz! 11!
Can act as a bit of a back guard, protect that Yellowstone they have in play. But you need to hold the shooter. That was the key. Needs to stick around. Rolling out, not helping.
Frustration for Tirinzoni. She's 79% total. And pretty low on her draws. Decent on the hits. So it's all about those shots that really matter. Of course, they all matter, but the ones at key moments not quite working out.
hopefully attempted to punch this one right through the hole.
Whoa! Внимание, sweep! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Whoa! Sweep! Да, sweep, sweep!
Oh,
Gets away with it just off that side one.
yep, there was enough on it there, wasn't it, to get it through.
Little bit of urgency on the sweep call from Brizgalova and Kovaleva.
Да, ну просто на других
Catches that
датах
out the
это не
red,
так было
moves it.
заметно. Ну, как бы, на Горске в Сочи, да, в последнее время. Да.
Switzerland, you got
А тут
3 shots left
сильная
now.
разница. Когда Алина просто
Probably have to move that one off the top of the button. Keep your shooter right in front.
всё идёт, туда везёт. Трис.
And she's had a good game,
Он открыт же полностью красный.
Brizgalova.
Tieline, Karel, deiner genoeg. Lang is genoeg. Karel, genoeg.
Gaat veel gewoon klappen.
Precies einfach. Linie
Linie
is
is
goed.
goed, lang is goed.
Alles sauber.
Geen 4.
Oh, dan
Geen
oh.
4. Alles sauber. Schmeckt al.
In dem gar nicht. In der 8. Ein bisschen weg rüber. Nein.
Stand corrected. They don't play the tap there. They're trying to corner freeze that one behind the corner guard.
Over to Sweden, China again. Wow, already sitting 3 there. Look at that.
Yeah, it hasn't been a game by Sweden. They have, every time I've looked over, it's been Sweden trying to play a run back. And we're seeing a few already of Hasselborg trying to bail their team out. This, the double raise. Trying to go yellow-red onto those 2 yellows and won't make contact with that red. And it is the steal of 3. So the Olympic champ, world silver medalist, down 9-3 in their first game of this year's World Championship.
After 7 ends,
Sorry,
it's a long, long way back. Meantime, over to our featured game. Hits and sticks for 5 for Russia.
Посильнее, да, 0 просто было.
And the comparison of those two, well, that tells the story.
Yeah, and the shots that have been missed by Switzerland of late
Was ist, wenn sie
have
nachher
been
Guard macht mit
complete
dem,
misses,
dann
not
haben wir
half.
keinen
They've
mehr.
been rolling out. Nothing that they can do with after the fact.
Also dann müsst ihr stehen machen.
Ja.
Ja.
Okay.
Also
So. Mit einem feinen, also mit einem Board. Findest du gut?
Ja.
Also, machen wir den.
von Ihnen will ich aber.
There's the bench.
Ja, musst ja nur.
Auf der Linie, ist gut. Board.
Sure, they're a bit concerned at this stage.
Board.
Ja.
Zwischenwicken.
Ja.
Genau, soll ich weg, oder was ist das?
Ja. Board. Muss ihn nur fein treffen. Ist gut. Vorhin war Sport, da gegen oben, oder? Ja, das war gut Board.
Ja.
gewesen.
Gerade so wohl.
By contrast, a very happy duo.
Yeah, it's a nice position to be in. Sitting 5 with Skip Stones of the
Spitz mehr.
8th end.
And 8-4 ahead.
Fest. Fest. Wow. Echt. Go. Hier, weit. Wer jetzt? Wow.
Well, little change of plans. I think they were trying to tap, maybe roll to the center. They roll behind the corner.
Okay, gut.
Komplett verwirrt gewesen. Sie ist glaube auch nicht mehr.
Just trying to give themselves a chance of scoring
Einer hätte jetzt gesagt.
a deuce in the end. Well, the roll got to such a good spot behind the corner. It's tough to remove. You are lying 2. Looks like they're going to try and block the double.
Посмотри оттуда.
Закрыть мне больше, наверное, нравится. Смотря как вы уверены по вот этой колее изнутри пробивать. Если мы выбиваем его клиром, да, то там ей форт 4 камня, да, там.
А, ты хочешь перевал, да?
Типа с перевал, я думаю, даже ролл туда просто делать. Небольшим, ну, сильным весом просто. Либо слева. Прям вот сильно, чтобы он как бы...
Если что... Окей.
Она сказала, ты можешь полками
Окей,
попасть,
stay.
но он типа уйдет мимо, да. Там большое расстояние.
На 0 или ты сильно прям?
Если сильным, то точно
Так.
вынесет их. Пил? Ага.
Well, change. They figure they can throw weight at it, go over the top of their red. Definitely does. Even if you nose it, you're okay. And that look there, you got a good glance of what Kovaleva's facing.
But I guess when you're in their position, you can maybe afford to not throw caution to the wind, but
I think they get away with that one. They push it one far enough to lie 3. Very bit fortunate the way that they hit that one.
so Stimo coming up. Having had a look.
Need the nose hit. Lena Pats in Switzerland only generate 1 point.
So last stone of this 8th end. Just need to make it count. And they do. But it is just 1. Haven't made too many inroads on that scoreboard. There's another couple of ends to go only.
Ich würde, glaube Nummer 1. Wolltest du Nummer 1 machen?
Ja, ja, ich würde wel eens met 3
So certainly up against it, Switzerland. It's Russia 8, Switzerland 5 after 8.
Да, можем поболтать постоять.
Да.
Оба, да,
Чем
засунем
закрыть
туда?
не понравилось?
Recht goed, Tangi.
Esther.
Nein,
Ist
nein,
immer in
nein!
Ordnung, oder? Danach, wie es geht.
Komm, Esther! Hey! Go, 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 go!
So just
Schön.
Sehr schön.
8, 9 and 10 to go now.
Schön, Meli. Tipptopp.
And Switzerland up against it. It's all about Russia right now.
Everything has gone their way. Even when you miss hit a little one like on the last by Kovaleva, still able to make it go away and good enough to force the single point.
Только линия!
See how they defend that 3-point lead now with the hammer.
Он же открывает.
Yeah, what's your strategy now? You don't have to go for it, obviously, but you don't want to let them in.
If you're Russia, you want to have access to the forefoot, be able to make a draw for a single point. You just want to score in this ninth end. Whether you score 1 or 4, it's all a good, comfortable lead. Obviously, 4 probably is the end of the game, but 1 puts you in a 4-point lead playing the 10th end.
You're not over the finishing line yet. And in sports, sometimes complacency can creep in towards the end. You have to keep focused and professional. See the game out. And Switzerland put up a long guard.
Trying to use that free guard zone to their advantage. That one high.
Over to Japan, Scotland again. They're up against it too. Japan 8, Scotland 4. 8th end now on sheet C.
Ikue Kitazawa just played very well. Hasn't shown any of those rookie nerves that you expect in a World Championship premiere. The draw looks like close to line 1 right now. And sits down in the forefoot, so good for their 2 points.
And they gives them a 10-4 lead.
Yeah, it's a nice, comfortable lead for them with 2 ends remaining.
You can see this one beginning to come around now.
Well, heels will come, trying to clear off that center line. I said Kovaleva needs to make sure she has a chance to score in this 9th end.
Kina for Russia. Guard number 1 gone.
They still lie 2, those 2 in the top of the 8-foot.
Hinge 4, Linie 8. Nein, Ziellein. Platz, Hände. Hinge 4. Platz. Hinge 8. Hinge 4, Hinge 12. Hinge 12, ja. Bis dus. Hinge 12, Hinge 8.
And this is sailing on a little bit here for Switzerland. Is it going to stay in? Yep, snibbling just on the outside there. So that Japan game finished there at that end after that score for Japan. 10-4 win for these young Japanese player, new Japanese team here. And that's a super win for them over Scotland.
Yeah, it's a nice start for them to get that first one. And miss Peel there, though, from Russia. Switzerland wasn't really that close on that come around, goes back 12-foot. Now they get another shot at this with those guards still in play.
Ja, kannst meine vergessen, das ist okay, die Ablänge.
Vorne 4. Dann nehmen wir, muss hinten 4.
Ich finde Länge gut, alles
Linie ist
sauber.
gut.
Alles sauber, hinten 8. Läuft viel besser.
Wo ist er?
Hinten
8. Hinten 8 ist noch gut, hä?
Hinten 8.
Meli?
Bis hinten 12.
Nein, okay, dann kann gar nicht. Hinten 8 ist noch gut.
Ja, kannst. Kannst.
Ja,
This one to come round.
Ja.
Gut.
Zu viel Eis. Gut gespielt.
Second shot at it. And it's in there, it looks like it is shot stone.
Gut gespielt.
Ну, так вообще безопаснее, мне кажется.
Well, two choices. You can peel the center. They could come right after that one in the back of the 8-foot. It is open.
Whoa, whoa, guys, whoa! Yes, yes. Молодец.
Well, that's the danger guard, the one right on the center line.
It's all open now.
Близко с желтым прошли. А?
That
Близко с
center
желтым
area.
прошли? Нет, не особо. Нет.
Высоко. Мы
Там надо было Вовату подать,
прилично, да,
чтобы...
попали.
Da wäre fast... An den kommt sie fast nicht her, oder? Wir wissen nicht da.
Wenn ihr ein Timeout nehmen?
Ich habe das Gefühl, also ich habe schon mal da außen 12 gespielt. Da.
Ja.
Ja, eine andere Option wäre noch ein Guard nochmal. Sie wird wahrscheinlich noch mal Guard aufmachen. Sie muss fast schon mal...
Ja, wobei wir sollten fast
Ja.
zwei klauen. Wenn wir da kommen, dann haut sie drauf und dann sind sie offen. Das ist nicht
Ja.
so gut.
Mein
Ja,
erster Gedanke
also ich
war da
finde es okay.
gewesen, ja.
Ein bisschen viel Eis geben.
Ja, ich finde es da recht gut, ja.
So all coming up
Hier gleich gespielt wie da vorher, sind wir vorne 4. Da draussen.
Okay.
to the other end.
Yep.
Having considered the options. Those two Russian stones sitting at the top of the 4-foot.
Der Linie wart, er ist weit auswärts.
Let's see
Er ist weit
where this is going to finish.
Wo ist er von
See
der
the
Länge?
time there. Should be about 14 and a half if it's going to be pretty close.
Wo ist er?
0 rein. Nummer vorne 12.
Well out there.
3. Okay, oh. 3.
I think maybe a little bit wider. Slower spot, because that time looks like it should definitely have been able to be in the house.
More to do with the state of the ice on that part of the sheet, perhaps.
Много расстояния. Собираюсь
Nothing
через свой.
really going Switzerland's way at the moment. Still
Колодкой, типа.
on the back foot.
Да, мне, потому что я вижу полкамня. Даже если она потом хорошо завезет, тоже через свой сделаем. Пока уберем лучше.
Another game is over in this first series of round robin games. And what a win for China. And a big win for China over the Olympic champions. 9-3 the final score. What a win for that team. No wonder they're delighted. Sweden, goodness me, we saw one or two highlights or lowlights from their point of view in that game. But China playing extremely well, look.
Yeah, it wasn't the... Many would have been expecting that to be a Sweden win. Just a lot of experience. Wang Rei's never played, skipped at a world championship. She's in there and played very well. Her entire team did. Going up against the Olympic champion, the world silver medalist. Thought it was a little bit of a mismatch, but clearly it was a mismatch the other way. And they can't get by the front.
That was their worry. That was their worry. So
Did they move it far enough that they're shot stone, though? That's could be a big point.
So plan A didn't quite work, but what about plan B? They were vigorously sweeping here. They knew it was in danger of catching this top red. Oh, let's just see where the stones finished. They're having a good look.
Dann, eben, dann, wie du gesagt hast, dann macht sie das, das ist dumm, oder? Mein Ziel wäre nachher mit 3 liegen.
Ja.
Nach dir. Also nach dem letzten.
Wenn wir einen Zweier Überwicken macht
Fifth
sie
player's
nachher
actually
gut.
coming
Den
down.
wahrscheinlich kennen wir nachher. Einen guten, den wir
Ja, das nicht so schlecht gefunden, der cool.
So, vielleicht, weißt, verschieben wir ja den noch so ein bisschen vor den, dann muss sie schon
Ja.
den Rambeck
Wir dürfen einfach nachher nicht anlegen. So.
Ist egal, ob sie nachher
Also einfach nicht gerade
Das wäre
eingestellt,
Worst
aber,
Case, ja.
aber wenn wir so gestagert sind, wäre es ja nicht so schlimm. Dann hätten wir immerhin die Chance,
Ja.
den einen
Wir sind
stellen.
second im Moment.
Sie macht nachher den, habe ich das Gefühl. So oder so, damit
Jetzt
sie
Guard
schott ist.
ist Guard noch eine Option jetzt?
Ich glaube nicht.
Oder ist
Sie
es
wird dann
spät?
da freeze und dann ist gar, also,
Okay,
oder
dann
da
müssen wir
ist
auch
also, ich glaube nicht, dass Guard eine Option
Okay,
ist.
okay.
Ja.
Finkelhausen.
Das finde ich nicht so
Wenn
schlecht.
wir
Wenn wir den machen, dann ist sie nachher wahrscheinlich schon.
Sie ist schon
das gleich? Uns ist ja schon.
Wir sind schott
Nein,
jetzt.
Oder nicht? Sind Sie sicher?
Ja.
Ja, das ist mega knapp.
Wieso,
nicht
was
so
meinst
sicher
du?
Ich bin auch nicht sicher.
Ziemlich sicher, ja.
Also, mein Vorschlag wäre eigentlich so, und vielleicht der irgendwie so, dass
bisschen
der nicht ganz frei ist.
Ja.
Gut, dann knallt sie nachher den da vorne ab, natürlich.
Hast du noch einen anderen?
Nein, aber mein erster Gedanke war schon, der hier, genau, ein bisschen überwicken. Je nachdem, den sogar ein bisschen verschieben. Weil hinten dran legen bringt fast nichts, dann kann sie immer über ein Rot schießen. Und die hier sind im Moment noch recht störend.
Also ja. Find's
Also
gut,
komm, machen wir den. Find's auch
mit
gut.
Bord.
Gut.
So. Ist gut, ja. Find's gut.
Well, fifth player heads back up. What are they thinking, Luke?
Well, it's all where you want to try and place this one. You could try and draw right down and place it that way, but if you play hit and roll, it keeps a possible one, and there's a chance if you get a force in the end, you're only down 4 with the 5 rock zone. It's a tough comeback, but you're still alive. It's not a real great steal position. This sort of gives you a chance to steal and also limits how big of an end it could possibly be.
So they're still thinking positively. That's the impression.
Yeah, try and hit and roll off this top one. It's trying as hard as possible, but they roll the other way. They're trying to flop in front so they could line an angle up if Russia comes down to the back one.
Quite a tricky shot.
Den habe ich noch besser gefunden als der andere, aber den hätte ich mir nicht getraut zu kommen.
That was the first smile we've seen for a little while. And these two Swiss players.
Даже если она нам
Back to Russia.
пробьет дабл, мы выбьем, да, один, у нас останется шутер лучше, чем все, кроме одного. Да? Не, если мы не довалимся. Да, давай. Вот так чуть-чуть не нравится? Или прям прямой нравится? Да, сделать два лучше, но чуть в бок. Не нравится?
The nice thing for Russia, there's no
Прям,
guards out in front.
Прям так,
Everything's
да?
in the rings along this path. So come down, they can tap that one.
Damit wir vielleicht mit 3 können. Aber ich glaube, wenn sie frisst, dann würde ich der frisst.
Что мы делаем? Вроде там хорошо катила.
Да, она нормально катится, более-менее.
Фриз! Да-да-да.
Свип, линия!
Kovaleva.
Фриз, контакт!
Оп! Свип! Свип!
Фриз! Надо!
Есть вес! Чуть контакт!
Небольшой
Свип,
совсем
свип,
надо
свип,
вес!
свип! Да, чуть-чуть толкни, чуть-чуть. Есть.
Oh, right down, little tap. Lie 1-2.
Nicely played.
Молодец, Алин.
I thought they might play a little more and try and roll a bit away from the 4-foot, because now a freeze could make her last one have to run that one back. A little trickier.
It also depends what Switzerland do here.
Genau, die wäre so gut.
Well, Alina Pats needs to come up with a shot now. Otherwise, it could be game over if she can't come up with a key shot now.
Recht gut, der genug.
Nur Linie.
Vier nach hinten, 4.
Hinten 8. Er ist schnell.
Der hat sich ein bisschen ab, aber ist immer noch vorig.
Er ist schnell erpammt. Jetzt
Nimm
bremst du
ihn,
Huren.
nimm ihn.
Now trying to give this one a chance. And just that little tap. Separation. Enough to remove that one.
So Switzerland are counting.
Huren bremst noch am Schluss.
Нам стей надо, да?
Нормально щетка?
Well, Russia's done well with the hammer. One steal. Trying to score multiple points again with the hammer.
So last stone of the 9th. Russia's Kovaleva. How's it looking?
I'll get past your top one. Make the hit.
And really, really, really well done by Russia yet again. And that means the game is over. It's 3. And they really, after they scored that 3 mid-game, they really didn't look back. An 11-5 win over Switzerland. They made the shots when it really, really mattered. And well, very good performance by this team. And they will be contenders this week on that performance. Being a very good Swiss team who just didn't produce the goods when it mattered. But this team did.
Wegen Maya?
Mums ir viens!
Mums ir četri! Pilns zilajā!
So this is Germany against Latvia. And as you can see, Germany with a commanding 10-4 lead in this 9th end. And really, Latvia on the back foot, trying to reduce that deficit. They have the hammer in this 9th end.
Tas ir caurs.
Yellow stones for Latvia and red stones for Germany.
Okay, pats mēģināt.
They just saw a 3 in the 6th end. But Germany have been leading for most of the game and really asserted themselves in the 7th with a 4. And very difficult to come back from that for Latvia. And Germany just trying to make it even more difficult for them. Daniela Jentje. Not our usual percentages, just 63. The skip for Germany. He's targeting this yellow and rolling into the middle. Doesn't want to roll out though. And it's just going to hang in there. Is it counting though? No, it's not. It's the yellow. Just too much on that for Germany.
Ja, ich habe nicht damit gerechnet, dass es so schnell war. Ich habe es aber gleich gesagt.
But Jimmy, do you have that red to your
Ein bisschen
left
jāatspiež.
there?
Jā, un bišķiņ jāatspiež. Pēc aizmugurē, jā. Mums šis te ir tagad pagaidām pirmais, viņš ir jāatspiež. Mums bišķiņ šaurāk. Mans iestājas. Tu taču šaurāk paņem.
A really close game early on, and then just in the fifth, Germany began to take control.
Nu, skatās. Kā slīd.
This is Santa Berger, who's playing the skip for Latvia.
Vajag atspiest.
Vajag bumpu. Līnijas nav. Līnijas nav. Līnijas nav. Nē. Nav.
Neko.
She's normally the vice skip, but she's stepped up to the skip's position in this game. And that one is just heading out, so nothing really going Latvia's way. And Germany still counting with that one red stone on the edge of the 12-foot there to your right.
Die Länge von eben? Oder ein bisschen weniger? 10? Ha?
So, ja.
10.
And the second zone from Daniela Jędrzej.
Yep. Right. Whoa.
After that Latvian yellow stone.
Yep. Whoa.
Hits and sticks for 3 for Germany.
9-3.
Well executed from the Germany skip.
Oh, der war aber deutlich langsamer losgelassen. Weil der andere, der war schneller, das sehe ich ein, aber der war deutlich langsamer.
So Blumberger of Latvia hoping to secure a final point here for Latvia. Last stone coming up. Germany already leading 10-4. Can Latvia make this one count?
Pītaku. Aiziet. Nāku.
Super's working hard, and the other one's come out to help them. Maruni, they're getting it into the target area to count, and they finish with 1 point. Not making too much inroad in terms of the scoreboard, but they get there nonetheless, and it is a 10-5 win for Germany after this first round-robin game. And well played to Team Germany. And a smile from Blumberger there, finishing well. So that completes the action in the opening session, and highlights of our opening game between Russia and Switzerland. So Russia against Switzerland, 5-4 to Russia at the break, sixth end. Russia already lying 1. Nina Kovaleva had this draw to make it 2. I'm pretty relaxed about it. And it's in the house, and they extend their lead to 7-4. Eighth end. Lena Pats of Switzerland facing those Russian counters. She had to make sure of this hit for one. And she executed it well, but still on the back foot, Switzerland. 8-5 down, and then ninth end. No stone from Kovaleva for Russia. The Swiss had nudged one into count. Here goes the Russian skip. She hits and scores 3, and that's an 11-5 win for Team Russia in their opening round-robin game.
Nice.
Надо туда, нет?
Давай сначала
Давай
хлопнемся и
хлопнемся.
отвезем.
Давайте хлопнемся.
С нашей первой победой.
So good win for Russia, 11-5 there, final score. We also had a good win for China, 9-3 over Sweden. And a big win for Japan too, over Scotland, 10-4. And also for Germany, 10-5 over Latvia. So at the top of the table with those wins, we have China, Germany, Japan and Russia. A few teams, of course, still to play their opening game.
Congratulations. How do you feel picking up your first win at a World Championship this year?
Поздравляем. Как вы чувствуете себя после первой победы на чемпионате мира?
Спасибо. Я очень рада, что мы стартовали с победы, поэтому чувства очень приятные.
Thanks a lot. We are very happy that we start from the winning, and it's a really nice feeling.
And how happy are you with how the team played?
Как вы довольны о том, как команда играла?
Я довольна, как играли девочки, немного недовольна своей игрой. Вначале у меня чуть-чуть не получалось, но потом, в принципе, я разобралась со льдом и стало получше.
I'm happy about my girls, but not very happy about my game in the beginning. But later, at the middle of the game, it was much better. We read the ice, so it was nice.
Congratulations, best of luck.
Поздравляем, большой удачи. Thank you.
Yes, congratulations to Team Russia with the opening win of this round robin. Lots and lots more action still to come, but that's it from me, Alison Walker, and Luke Coley for the moment. We'll be back with more action a little bit later on. Second session of round robin games. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now.
Ой, завтра шишка.